We're live right now. How about that? I just hit the button. I said, screw it. We're going live right now. The people are waiting for us. We have to go live.
Man, I was about to bust out into some freestyle. You better be glad you let me know now, because we'd have been the Federal Communications Associate, whatever that organization is, would have flagged us. And
should I do the intro anyway? I will.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Yeah. Set the tone.
I like that drum at the end. It's like a little bit like a. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, what's up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Orton. This is the NWA. It's the show celebrating the past, present, future, history, legacy, and tradition of the greatest pro wrestling entity of all time. Of course, we're talking about the National Wrestling Alliance, and I am but one of your fine hosts this evening. I'm also joined by Will Martin. Hello, Will.
Good evening. I am the finest of the hosts, the co-hosts.
Nobody's going to argue that, except possibly the doctor himself, Rob Stinson. Hello, Doc.
He may be the finest of the hosts, but I'm probably the best host, like a most congenial and whatever. Go ahead. I don't know where I was going with that.
Nailed it.
Looking at Media M5 already in the chat. Gary wasn't kidding. If you were in the chat for 10 pounds of gold, and if you weren't, then what were you doing? Because the 10 pounds of gold was awesome, and you should have seen that. It's up on the YouTube right now. Don't leave and go watch it now, but watch it after this. But anyway, he asked, well, if this is playing now, when is the Bearded Trio going to be on? I said, probably 6:40. So here we are on the nose. It's 6:40. And it's good to be here. And I'm glad you showed up, Media. It's good to know that somebody out there is looking forward to things like this. So we appreciate you. And we appreciate everybody else who's joining us. Devin, Bill, Eric Dale, Brother Dan, the Man Smith, BTD, whatever it was again. Caps is here. Schmitty in the house. Shut the front door. I like that profile pic too. I hope that is legitimately how you look. And Brother Dan from England. Good night, mate. Yeah. Same stupid joke. Let's throw another
we
shrimp
don't write
on
our
the
jokes
bobby.
beforehand. Yeah.
I love the Austrian. I love the Austrians.
Oh, shout out to Gary's Movie Emporium. I like that.
Oh, come on, Gary. You can't, man. It's like liking your own.
That's not me, man.
It's like liking your own tweet, man.
That's your burner account, bro. Yeah, we're not dumb.
You would think so, even from the movie cover that's on there, but it's not me. Wow, that is all right. Well, anyway, thank you. Thank you, Zach, Eric, Willie, Chris, everybody. Thanks for being here. Even Troll Baby, who is probably
my
in for something.
That's my burner.
Oh, all right. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. The Crockett Cup is coming up right around the corner. We got the 10 pounds of gold episode that just dropped. We've got a big World's Championship match. More to come, I'm sure. More announcements to be made. We've now filled out the entire brackets as of today. If you guys haven't seen that, we kind of know pretty much everything that's going on, even as far as who our play-in is and the TBD. The only thing we don't know, well, we know who the 4 teams competing for the play-in is, I should say. The only thing we don't know for sure is who is Doug Williams' partner. And if you're following along on Twitter today, there's a rumor that he's looking at tag team specialists, and the number one person that he's looking at right now is a former IWGP tag team champion. So very interesting indeed. So a lot to talk about. We'd love to know what you guys want to talk about, even if you're from Milwaukee. Hey, Shane from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. And Scott
Hey,
is here
Mike.
from USA. And yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Schmitty has let us know that his picture is of Jack the Ripper, suspect number 1. So, yeah. And see, Gary's Movie Emporium is a total legit channel. I'm sure this is what everybody came here for. Bill's from Baltimore. Let's just everybody stay where you're from, right there in the chat. But Danny Deals is in the chat, so the show could officially
also a potential sleeper, a tag team specialist, mind you.
Who? Danny Deals?
Yes, indeed. Lots of buzz out there in the Twitterverse about is Doc Deals going to make an appearance at the Crockett Cup in some way?
It's very interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see what happens there. Want to give let's see if you've got predictions on who you think the mystery partner for Doug Williams is. Throw it in there. Chris is predicting Harry Smith or Bully Ray. The original Dizzy D's predicting the West Coast. No, that's where he's from. I see. Let's see, who else did I see in here? Davey Boy Smith Jr. I see a prediction for Cesaro, for Cody Rhodes. There's all kinds of stuff, so it could be anybody. I don't know how many of those people are former IWGP Tag Team Champions, but also it's not guaranteed that the person is. That's just the rumor. That's the rumor. We don't know. We're not confirmed. See Zack Sabre Jr. right there. Look at that. And Colorado Springs is in the house. This is today is a special day, all about where you live. So after this, go ahead and tell us what your favorite thing about where you live is. And Doc will tell you a story about the time he and his wife visited there.
That's right.
So this is it's an exciting time to be an NWA fan. And let's see. Well, what should we talk about first? What do we jump right into? We got to kill some time till our guests get here.
Well, I mean, just because we just watched it, is that 10 pounds of gold is back. Something that, for me personally, my journey into the NWA started with 10 pounds of gold. Back when Aldis was chasing the title from Tim Storm, and it's become such a valuable part of the NWA. The media and the stuff that is put out, and man, that just got me going. I don't know about you guys, but man, it's I was already excited for Crockett Cup. I've already been excited for Nick Aldis and Matt Cardona, but that just really kind of ramped it up to 100, because just telling the story, hearing those guys talk back and forth, hearing from other people within the NWA, that was just really cool. So if people haven't watched it, there's no spoilers or anything in it. It's just leading up to this big prize fight at Crockett Cup and kind of setting the stage. It's great.
Well, I would say there's spoilers if you haven't seen the upcoming episodes of Power Trip yet, or you haven't read the potentially. But the word's out. The word's out already about who the current world's heavyweight champion is. That was impossible to keep secret. So it's out there. Doc, what's on your mind?
Just one of the takeaways that I have, and we've seen episodes of 10 pounds of gold before that have a very international bent to it. Obviously, I'm speaking about the Colt Cabana, Nick Aldis match in China, one of the most consequential title defenses in the Lightning One era. And then there were some defenses in the UK during the Aldis Crusade. But it was really neat to see the juxtaposition of Cardona and Chelsea Green in Paris, France, that 10 pounds of gold in front of the Eiffel Tower, and then to switch over to see Nick Aldis wrestling in Poland, a part of the world that's become very consequential here in recent days. Just the international dimension that the NWA brings, I think, is something that is always weighs heavy on me. And that's what the NWA is about. If you haven't got a chance to watch this episode, it's really, really cool. And big shout out to that Poland promotion. Very good production quality there. Love to see more NWA wrestling in Poland, and maybe, hopefully, if things go according to my algorithm after the Crockett Cup, maybe we get a World's Championship title defense in Poland.
That would be fun. See if Matt Cardona makes it over to Poland. That'd be really cool to see.
Wow.
Oh, Yeah.
Gary's doing a heel turn on us tonight.
I'm just having a little fun poking the bear, as they would say. So we do know that is a big match that's coming up, of course, at the Crockett Cup. You are going to see Matt Cardona defend that World's Heavyweight Championship, the real World's Heavyweight Championship, against the national treasure, Nick Aldis. That's going to be on March 20th, which is the second of 2 nights of Crockett Cup action at the Fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee, March 19th and 20th. NWATix.com is where you can get those. And if those 2 guys aren't enough to drag you there, we should check out the fact that Jeff Jarrett is the special ambassador for the Crockett Cup. He's going to be in the house. That's JEFF JARRRETT. That's Jeff Jarrett. He's going to be there. Hey, thank you.
It took a long time to spell that out, man. like a minute later, I'm like,
Some of those times
double T.
you got nothing else to talk about.
We're waiting on them.
That was my jam. That was my jam back in the day. All right. Well, then how about this? How about these Crockett Cup brackets? Look at those things.
I want you to spell out every one of these opponents' names in that same
LARE. No, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about La Rebellion.
That's right.
In the Crockett Cup, the number one seed,
seed.
Becca Wolf. Yeah. Bestia 666 and Becca Wolf. Look at those guys. They're vicious. There's a reason they're the number 1 seeds. Number 2 seed, though, equally vicious. The Briscoes. How about those guys? Yeah. I want to know who people are predicting are going to win this thing, because these 2 teams, although they're lining up on opposite sides there, as you can see, of the Crockett Cup brackets, if those 2 met in the finals, that would be something else, and it's quite possible. Other teams to look forward to. Well, we got the OGK. They're going to be joining us at the Crockett Cup, or at least in the Crockett Cup tournament. And then the 4th seed was Doug Williams and Nick Aldis, which Nick Aldis is having to be replaced. But we'll say Doug retains.
Is that silhouette? Is that a spoiler right there? Is The Rock? The Rock is the holy cow.
You know, I don't
heard it here, guys. You heard it here.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that The Rock will not be at the Crockett Cup. But no guarantees. You don't know. It looks a lot like it.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
I mean, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. True. Hey, wink, wink. I see what you're saying. Okay. I got you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Strictly Business is going to be in action at the Crockett Cup. They're in there. Pope and Mims is your other team. That's going to be your other team. And then nobody else. No, that's a lie. Because the former tag team champions, Aaron Stevens and Kratos, are going to be there. We've got The End. We've got Hawks Airy. We've got the Dirty Sexy Boys. Or what about this new team? Yeah. How about the Cardonas? That's an interesting choice there. VSK and Mike Knox. And they're calling themselves the Cardonas. That's how much a man can change a promotion in one day.
Well, I don't know if they're calling themselves the Cardonas, but Matt Cardona is calling them the Cardonas, and as champion, that's going to stand. But all that aside, I mean, these are two talented guys in the ring. So we laugh about the name, but I wouldn't underestimate them.
Oh, Dizzy D was predicting Christopher Daniels in that picture earlier too. By the way, I don't know. Look at the shape of that head. Is it possible that it was Christopher Daniels? Maybe
from a certain angle, it looks like it looks a little like a Will Martin.
Oh, yep.
You have to get the light just right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I'm like,
okay, yeah, I'm not 100% sure I buy that, but I agree. Back to the Cardonas there. VSK is severely underrated.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and you got a tag team. You got to win 4 matches. Some teams have to win 5 matches, and it's kind of like the playoffs. It's whoever's hot at the right time. When you got 2 talented guys in there like VSK and Mike Knox, man, honestly, they could go on a roll and surprise a lot of people. We've seen teams that we've expected to go deep go out early. I'm thinking of the Rock and Roll Express in the previous Crockett Cup. You know, they had a lot of momentum and everything, and they were an inspirational favorite. I think many people even expected the Briscoes to win the whole thing, and they did not. I mean, look, at the end of the day, only 2 teams are going to make it to the finals. So you got a series of tag teams that could, if everything goes right and if they're hot, any one of them could win it. Look at Hawks Airy. We all know they're due. They are due. The end, they are due. My pick, Stevens and Kratos, former world tag team champions, looking for a rebound. You know, it seems that finally Kratos and Aaron Stevens are on the right page, and they have not really been on the right page or the same page throughout their whole tenure as a tag team. And here they are sort of seeing eye to eye again. And then, of course, you've got maybe the most feared tag team, most talented tag team in the world right now, our world tag team champions, La Rebellion. Who would bet against them? I mean, anything can happen, but definitely, to your point, do not underestimate the Cardonas.
Yeah, that's a good point. And Dizzy pointing out in the chat there, imagine if a play-in team win it all, or even a deep run would be crazy. That's a good point. Let's move through those brackets real quick here, just to get the rest of them. Well, we talked about the dirty, sexy boys. Yeah, I mean, we laugh and we want to get weird and they're fun, but also two big time veterans for the world of professional wrestling. So if anybody can get it done, you know that Dirty Dango and JTG have the skills and ability to make that happen.
And both very skilled in tag team wrestling. So
that's a great point. Yep. Very good point. I think both tag team champions.
Both good public speakers.
All right.
That's what you need to win the Crockett Cup.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very important. Another team that could be a sleeper team. How about these guys? Idolmania Sports Management in conjunction with Church's Money Enterprises. You've got the Golden Boy and Marche Rocket. These two guys.
And you're calling them sleepers, huh? Because to me, I think under the guidance of Black G's and one of the legends, Austin Idol, I'm not sure that's very fair to call them sleepers. This is a team that has every ability and quality to go the distance. So,
yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying they're a lower seeded team. They're not. I mean, you know, I didn't choose the seeding here, but if we go back and look at the brackets, I mean, where's Gold Rush? They're at number 12, the 12th seed. So that's on the other side of the halfway mark there for those guys. So they,
but you know, at the end of the day, everybody's 0-0 going into this, and they all got to win 4 matches. And guess who they're going against? They're going against Strictly Business. And right now, Strictly Business are, although I think that they are a team that could easily be the premier team in the world, they've not been on a hot streak here lately. So this may pose a favorable circumstance for Gold Rush.
Eric pointing out in the chat, Doc, this ain't no speech and debate tournament, so just be aware. I know you'd like it to be. Media, is anybody going to do a GoFundMe for G's to get a riser at the podium? That is cold, Media.
Oh.
And yeah.
Well, I think that T-Murder, Trevor Murdoch, and the National Treasure have started a GoFundMe for Idolmania Sports Management.
Look at Adam here. Only recently started watching NWA, so sadly, I don't even know who most of these wrestlers are yet. Well, you're going to get to learn it. Also, if you're just now starting to watch the NWA, I hope your first experience isn't this show. So we don't want to disappoint you. We promise not all of them are like this. This is just the hangout. This is just the fans getting to hang out and talk here. And every once in a while, some real talent graces us with their presence, like Nick Aldis the other week, or you know, we've had La Rebellion on and such, you know, so sometimes we get some cooler people than us on the chat. Well, all of you guys are cooler
people than y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all too.
Mulkey Mania running wild.
That's right.
Bill Lambert's got the Road Warriors winning it all. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, thank you, John. He says you three are awesome. You're awesome. We appreciate you for being here.
I guess he's talking about us.
Mets 21-28 went to the 2019 Crockett Cup. Hey, man, I was at the 2019 Crockett Cup. I even finagled my way into front row seats at that. I'll never forget that experience. It was wild. And, boy, I tell you what, if you've not had the experience of seeing the Briscoes up close and personal during a match, they're very scary. Very, very scary. Brody King flew into the rail right at my legs. I thought I was going to die. And anyway.
But you didn't. So, right?
Well, we'll see. I guess. Not yet. Not dead yet. Let's look at another team here. How about the ill-begotten? In parentheses, 2 members. Only 2 of the 4 could be in the Crockett Cup.
It is a tag team tournament.
So I'm assuming they're going Freebird rules in this then? Any 2 of the 4?
That would be interesting if they make it out of the first round. Can another 2 guys jump in and compete? Because that would be pretty crazy.
I don't think so.
And it seems like an advantage because there's 4 of them, but also they're at a disadvantage in the sense that, Doug Williams is, I believe, who they've got in the first round. And whoever his mystery partner is, look at that. The number 4, the number 13 seed down there in the bottom left. So, they don't know who they're competing against. So they don't know which team members to choose, presumably. And if they come out first, this is a strategy you got to think about, even though Doc sounds completely uninterested in anything I'm saying.
No, I'm here. I'm just thinking. You're right. You're right. I like the ill-begotten a lot. I'm a huge fan of Alex Taylor in particular. But when you look at that bracket, man, and you see Doug Williams and whoever else, maybe The Rock, maybe Christopher Daniels too, maybe Will Martin, whoever it is, maybe it's just Doug Williams. If you got to go into the ring against Doug Williams in a tag team setting, you are
what?
I said you will fart.
Despite
took a turn.
When we come on here at a delay, we don't have an actual delay, so we have to watch out for it. Anyway, John's predicting a Kurt Angle there. I don't know. Gary's are hardcore. I think Gary's in general are hardcore. Sandoval wants to know if Rush Freeman can hire new members for the event. Could it be just
he's done it before?
Hey, yeah, I mean,
the fixers are already in it, but that's who he hired last time. But he's shown us that he'll spend money to make money. So anything's possible there.
Jerry, you're apologizing for stupid questions. What are you asking? Oh, I see it. What days does NWA go on and what time? No, that's not a stupid question. That's an important question that everybody needs to know.
Great question.
Very important question.
Yeah, and it brings us to an excellent point to mention some of this stuff. So you can watch NWA Powerrr on FITE TV on Tuesday nights at 6:05, or let me hold on.
You got something, Gary? You got something?
I just want to get his thing out of the way so we can see the whole picture there. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make: Powerrr Tuesdays on FITE, Fridays for free on YouTube. You can watch it at 6:05, and then NWA USA is on both YouTube and FITE every single Saturday at noon. So tune into that. Now, you're probably asking yourself, this Tuesdays on FITE thing, what's that all about? Well, first run of NWA Powerrr is on Tuesdays at 6:05. You can also join up with NWA All Access. $49.99 annual subscription gets you every single NWA pay-per-view included. First run of NWA Powerrr and NWA USA, and lots more exclusive content. All right, well, we'll run down more of the Crockett Cup. We've run down a lot of the guys so far, but we got a special guest here with us this evening. And before we throw to those guys, I just want to show you something real quick. In case you are not familiar, the Briscoes have been a part of the Crockett Cup before. And if you're wondering how that went and you missed out, well, here's a little preview of that.
Rock and Roll Express, with all due respect, yes, y'all are legends in the game, but it's 2019 and we them boys. And I don't know if y'all heard this or not, but we the baddest tag team on the damn planet. NWA, don't want to do us like this. Don't want to do us like this. Hell no. Don't want to disqualify them boys. Hell no. Do y'all realize who the hell we are? NWA, y'all want to play this game? Y'all want to disqualify us? Well, the hell with y'all. The hell with this tournament. The hell with them. The hell with the damn Crockett Cup. The hell with all of you.
All right. Well, you can see there exactly how it went in 2019 when them boys, the Briscoes, were at the Crockett Cup. They're going to be coming back at the Crockett Cup 22, and we're pleased to be joined by Mark and Jay, the Briscoe brothers. Gentlemen, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem.
All right. See, you got a football there, but I assume that's not for the Crockett Cup. You ain't playing no games when you get there, are you?
Nah, I ain't playing football when I get there. I'm just playing football right now.
I hear
you. To the cup, we're wrestling, and we're doing that at a high level like we do. And we're taking the cup home. Plain and simple.
Just if you guys saw that preview from or the clips we had from last time you guys were in the Crockett Cup, things didn't go your way. A little DQ there. Things got kind of out of hand, and obviously very angry with the result, as we could see there. I'm wondering how you guys are feeling going into the 2022 Crockett Cup. What's your mindset's like? What brought you back?
Hey, things got a little out of hand last time. And, I mean, you know, it was what it was. We're going to try to behave ourselves a little more this time. That way we can advance all the way to the finals.
And win them mugs.
Hey, to be honest with you, anything less than a win would be a failure for us.
It's absolute failure. Pure and utter failure. Anything but a victory. In the finals.
You guys seem like you jump into fights like just you don't care who it is, where it is, how it is, anything like that. Y'all ready to go. So does the Crockett Cup, do you have any sort of strategy when you go in there with something like this, a tournament where you don't know from one match to the next who you might be up against?
Same old thing that it always is. We come out there guns blazing, and they're going to have keep up.
We're the most mobile, versatile unit in the history of professional wrestling. You understand what I'm saying? Throw what you want at us. Hey, we're the most mobile, versatile, man.
Hey, we know we got to win 4 matches, all right? We understand that. But also keep in mind that the other guys got to win 4 matches, all right? Now, who won't keep up with us, seriously, for 4 matches? Hey, we ready for this, man. We was born for this. All right? Every single match, we're going to crank it up 100 miles an hour. Who's going to do that with us?
I'm a little bit about how we number 2 seed. Number 2 seed for real. Hey, but
that's exactly what I was about to ask about. You know, I mean, you guys are coming into this, and there's only one team that's outranking you in the seeding, which, as you guys just mentioned, you're aware of. What's your thoughts on La Rebellion, the current NWA tag team champions, and what's your thoughts if you guys potentially meet them in the finals?
Hey, well, hopefully they'll be there.
Hopefully they'll be
hopefully
right
because we got 100% we plan to be there.
They're a fine professional wrestling tag team, but hey, that's what they is.
We've been to Mexico before. We've seen them perform in Mexico, and them boys can get down. Don't get me wrong, both of them, they can get down. But they're going to have to win 3 matches to get to the finals just like us. And then it's anything goes, man. I mean, we ready. Are they really ready? That's what I wonder. Is they really ready?
That's the question. Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things I admire about you guys is you always pay your respects where respect is due. But we've been sitting here for the last couple of years watching William Patrick Corgan cheat people out at the NWA, just like they did you at the last Crockett Cup.
Come on now.
No. Let me say this. They cheated you at the last Crockett Cup. And I just got to think they may have cheated you with the seedings. You guys have had to have been burning for the last 3 years, waiting to get back and avenge that. obvious duplicity and that blatant crime that happened to you guys last time y'all were in a Crockett Cup tournament?
That's a good way to put it. I have been burning. I've been burning nonstop.
And we stay burning.
Stay burning.
We stay burning. But you know what? I'm not really going to blame it so much on Billy because I feel like Paul Turner, the referee, during that match, you know what I mean? He was forced to make a split-second decision. He obviously made the wrong decision. He should have let the match keep going, but he did what he did. But, you know, that's in the past. We ain't got time to worry about that shit.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, the first team that you got, I mean, I almost say it's going to be tough. I saw this announced today. It's this team called the Now. They're brand new. They were part of the submissions for the Crockett Cup tournament. Mr. Corrigan put up an option for people to submit their resumes basically to get into the tournament. This is one of those teams. So they're off the independent scene. They're coming in. And then unfortunately, possibly for them, they drew you guys in the very first round. Any thoughts on that?
Hey, can we take a moment? Can we take a moment and have some prayer for these boys?
That's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, a moment of silence.
Go ahead. Yeah, Lord, please bless these boys' souls after we send them on their way. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay. All right. Well said. Well said.
So we call them the Now. That's what they call themselves.
Now.
We the now, the yesterday, and the tomorrow. Understand that, boys. Flavor of the month is a beautiful thing, but it only lasts 1 month.
Out of the teams that you've seen like enter into the Crockett Cup so far, like, that have been announced, I mean, is there anybody that you've been itching to get a hold of more than La Rebellion or somebody else you?
We love to get in there with the Kingdom again.
Of course.
Yeah. We love to get in. It don't really matter who it is, man. It really don't matter who it is. Hold on, we got a low power mode here.
It ain't that low though. We all right.
Yeah, we all right. We good.
Okay.
But yeah, whoever
it may be.
Whoever. It really don't matter. At this point in our careers, it does not matter who you put us in there with.
Okay. Do you guys, I'm just curious, just personally, like the situation you're in now, it seems like you guys are all over the place. Everybody knows you really well from Ring of Honor, but with things the way they are right now, you guys are able to bounce around and you show up in different promotions all the time. And this seems to suit you because you can just go anywhere you want to and fight anybody you need to. I mean, are y'all enjoying this side of things and this time in your career?
Hey, it's cool, man. It's going full circle.
It is what it is. You're right, Jake. It's going full circle.
It's going full circle. We're doing what we was doing 20 years ago, but now we're making some bread doing it. You see what I'm saying? We used to make gas money. Now we're doing what we was doing then, and it's lovely. That's what we was born, put on this earth to do. To wrestle, go town to town, make towns, and whoop asses. You understand what I'm saying?
It ain't nothing for us, man. Like just this past weekend, we fly all the way across the country. We hop off the airplane in Los Angeles, get out the airplane, go blow the roof off the damn building, get back in the airplane and go home.
Go home, check.
But hey, we get the job done. We do our job. We know what we need to do, and that's what we do.
Proficient and efficient.
When these brackets came out, or before they announced specific teams, the one thing that we heard across the whole NWA world was you got to have them boys. It doesn't mean anything unless the Briscoes are in this tournament. So having been there once before, what does it mean to the career and legacy of the Briscoes? I mean, one of the most consequential tag teams on the face of God's green earth today. What does it mean for you to bring home the Crockett Cup trophy?
And it just seems like after the last one ended up with all that hubbub with the Paul Turner and all that. It's just I felt the universe just wasn't quite settled.
You're right.
It just wasn't quite. It really hasn't been since then.
I mean, you look what happened since then. We had the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got Russia invading Ukraine, and just everything just ain't sitting right now.
I think it's just kind of leading up to the point when we do take that cup home and everything is set right once again.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time to join us today. We know you guys are busy men and you're getting ready for everything. We are getting the question, what's in your fridge over there a lot? I don't know. The chat's asking that.
Man, see, I'm a little upset. I was looking for a Huggy. Y'all know Huggies? The juice Huggy. The juice.
No Huggy in there?
Ain't no Huggies in there. I thought there was a Huggy.
Grab me one of them little Sprites.
It's a little ass Sprite.
Grab me one of them little Sprites, Jay.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you get one of them Sprites, I'm going to drink some of this tea.
Is it tea in there?
I hope it is. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, Mark and Jay, the Briscoe brothers, we want to thank you very much for taking the time to join us live here tonight and giving the people some of your time that are watching right now. Everybody big fans of the Briscoes. Can't wait to see what you do at the Crockett Cup on March 19th and probably, based off this, the 20th too. They go keep advancing on through this thing, and we look forward to seeing you guys.
Hey, let's do it, baby. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks for your time, gentlemen. Have a good one. All right. Well, there's the Briscoe brothers. You saw them here, and they look ready. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't want to be any team up against them in the Crockett Cup tournament.
You think about it. We for 3 years, the three of us here at the NWA at This Is Pro Wrestling, we have been saying they've got to bring the Briscoes. You got to have the Briscoes. There have been other teams that have mentioned, but consistently the Briscoes have been that name. That's the one that people have been just dying to see. They bring that intensity. They're universally respected and feared at the same time. They are a strange combination of respect and disregard. Nobody does it. Nobody puts all those things together quite like them, and they are a dangerous team. And I think, if you see, if God so ordains it that in the finals you've got La Rebellion versus them boys, you're going to have a match of historic proportions right there. I think everybody wants to see that.
Well, and if we don't get that match in the finals, looking at that entire bracket, there's going to be a major upset somewhere, because any team, and don't get me wrong, we've talked about this. The brackets are stacked. There's some great tag teams in there, and really anybody can win it. But I think, for all honest, at the end of the day, if at any point during this tournament we see La Rebellion lose a match and not advance, and we see the Briscoes lose a match, that's going to be a major upset, no matter how you cut it and no matter who it is. So, yeah, and to their point, that's when we bring up the Crockett Cup 2019, one of the biggest things that we always talk about is that, the Briscoes not making it any further, and all that melee that we just, watch the highlights from. And so I agree with them. It does feel like some unfinished business, and some things have been up in the air. So I think this is a great chance for them to get redemption. And, I can't think of, obviously La Rebellion, number 1 seed, they're our champions. Would love to see them win the Crockett Cup, but it would be really fitting at the same time to see them boys win the Crockett Cup, just to kind of put the bow on everything else they've accomplished in their career. I can't really think of a more fitting tag team.
And I think too, we don't often see the Briscoes in an introspective moment. I think we did tonight when they paid respect to the tag team champs, and when they said the comment, I can't remember if it was Mark or Jay that said, we're going to be on our best behavior this time. They've gone back and they've watched this. They've brooded over this. They've thought about this. This is important to them. And I think you're going to see a much more focused, much more intentional and deliberate Briscoe brothers this time. And I agree with you, Will. I think although, I've gone back and forth on this a few times, and I've my bracket that I've got at home is all marked over and all, because I've had Kratos and Stevens, and I still, I still think they've got a lot of momentum going into this, and a lot of potential to right their career and avenge that tag team loss from several months ago. But man, if the Briscoes come in and they're deliberate and intentional, man, I don't know if anybody can stop them. I don't know if anybody can beat them.
Well, I don't know if anybody's I promise John Breakdown don't work for us, but he's asking how he can get NWA merch. And I guess there's no better time than now to tell you can go to nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. If Danny Deals is watching right now, he is going to be in love with you for asking that question, but you can get some awesome stuff there at the shop, nationalwrestlingalliance.com/shop. So check that out. All right. And now I definitely didn't want to do that and take away from the Briscoes, but if we got a chance to plug some merch, we got to plug some merch. So that's how it is. Why don't we throw on some of this music and run right back through the rest of these tag teams? How about that? Sound good? I'm gonna
set the mood a little bit.
I feel like that rock. If that music's called rock, it should be faster. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway. Oh, there we go. Now it's picking up. Now I feel like I can show you some more teams that are in the Crockett Cup.
Put a little Kenny G in there, man. A little Kenny G.
Now let's skip to Kenny G. Let's talk about
not the right vibe for Crockett Cup.
Oh, who did we leave off on last time? Was it the Cardonas? No, we did Gold Rush. We did the Ill-Begotten. They're in there. How about these guys? You want to know who rules? The Fixers rule. And they're going to be in the Crockett Cup. They're going to also be on tomorrow night on FITE TV. They're going to be taking on the OGK, which oddly resembles the first match in the brackets here. The OGK and the Fixers. So, interesting. Just side note. Throwing that out there. All right.
It oddly resembles it like it's the identical match.
Yeah, it resembles it pretty heavily.
Yeah, they're both the same team. So yeah.
They are both the same teams. I'm just saying one's at the Crockett Cup, one's at NWA Powerrr Trip on NWA Powerrr. So it's just interesting. Could the Fix be in the Fixers? We'll find out. Tune in tomorrow night, 6:05.
Fix is in.
How about this? To Be Determined was up on the list at number 16 for forever, or number 15, I think.
Great team, man. Great team, TBD. Yeah. They're all over the world. I've never seen one of their matches, but they've held.
Never show up.
I wonder how many times we can make this joke before. Well, you got what? Like, this is it. This is your last chance because TBD is out. And
what?
Yeah, TBD is out, and the Now is in. The Now joins the Crockett Cup. So this is a brand new team. A lot of us aren't very familiar with them. They've been wrestling on the Indies up in the Northeast. They've been doing their thing. And Pat Kenny seemed pretty high on them. Says these guys look great, and they deserve a shot. And they're going to get their shot at the Crockett Cup, March 19th and 20th. Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to see what the Now's made of, because coming in at that number 15 seed, they have to go against the number 2 seed, which is the Briscoe brothers. And I do not envy anybody in that position, but the Now want a challenge. They're getting the biggest one they could ask for right here at the start of the Crockett Cup.
All right.
Appreciate that. It's a one-man show tonight, folks.
You got your music playing. I didn't even think you needed us anymore.
Okay, all right. Well, the music means I don't need
put a little Kenny G on there. Throw some Kenny G on there, man.
Anyway, number 16 is that play-in spot, and we've already got the announced teams for the play-in spot. You've got Violence is Forever representing Southern Underground Pro. Now, this is pretty interesting that I noticed on these play-ins. They're all representing other promotions, little independent promotions. Well, I don't want to say little independent promotions like I'm downing them or anything. I just mean like other independent promotions that are out there. And it's just kind of intriguing to me. It's like almost like the alliance is forming there. You just got like all these other promotions coming in here, sending representatives in. And they could have gone with the big dogs. We're trying to give like the other guys a chance here. It's what the National Wrestling Alliance is all about.
Yeah, and that's what's up.
All right.
See what I did? See what I did there?
Yeah, Southern Underground Pro. That's what's up. They should consider that. They should get. All right, but
one-man show tonight. One-man show tonight, baby.
Now, Violence in Forever, I mean, they're representing this promotion, but I've seen them in MLW and other promotions as well. These guys have been all over the place, and these are no slouches. These aren't rookies. These are shooters right here. These guys come in to get wild. So this is a team right here. They make it to that first round. They're going to be taking on La Rebellion. Nobody in this play-in is a pushover team. And these guys
and I'll say this just to kind of elaborate on your assessment of these being from independent promotions, and a lot of these guys, I would say all of them, don't just wrestle in that promotion. That's just the key one they're affiliated with. So not to to play down anyone else in the tournament who is a part of a bigger promotion. But some of these teams that are in the play-in spot may have wrestled more matches in the past year than anyone else on the card, because those guys are hustling, they are plugging away, they're wrestling somewhere, every other night. So yeah, these aren't slouches. These are guys that have worked to get here, and they've caught the attention of Pat Kenny and Billy Corgan, and that's why they're in this tournament.
That's a great point. I mean, when you're in one of the larger companies out there, that comes the gosh, I don't know what the term I'm looking for, but I guess the unfortunate baggage that comes with that privilege of being in those companies is you've got the red tape that comes with it. And these guys are out there, like you said, Will, they are hustling. They're going out there, they're making towns, they're wrestling 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 nights a week, and they might be right now the best oiled of all the tag teams. So
yep,
we'll see what happens.
All right, just wanted to get some of that guitar in there for a second.
Is that on loop? That track's on loop, or is that
I think it's loop. We can change the music out. I don't know, man.
Let's change it up, man.
All right, you want to do dance pop?
Yeah, there you go.
See what that sounds like.
I want to hear some rock and roll, baby. Some real rock. I'm talking like not no Smashing Pumpkins stuff. I'm talking like Menudo or something like that.
Eesh. God.
Okay. There it is. I'm feeling it. Okay.
All right. You feeling that? Yeah. And I suppose it's worth mentioning too. Not suppose it's worth mentioning. It definitely is worth mentioning. Kevin Koo and Dominic Girani. There are Violence is Forever. I missed out on that before pointing that out on these two guys. They're worth mentioning their names, and they're a very, very good tag team. All right, so next up on the list here, as far as the play-in teams for the Crockett Cup, we're looking at, how about these guys? The Bad News Boys, a.k.a. the Boys, hanging out in Ring of Honor in the past. They were actually also at the 2019 Crockett Cup. For those that don't remember, they participated in an over-the-top battle royal at the beginning for position in the Crockett Cup tournament. That battle royal ended up being won by Tom Latimer and Royce Isaacs, who would go on to become the wild cards because they were the wild card team. You see what happens there? That's how that story was written. Later becoming Strictly Business, and here we are, Strictly Business in the 22 Crockett Cup. But it all started in that battle royal, and the boys were there. Now they're the Bad News Boys, the Tate twins. You've also seen them around the business as they've been over at WWE during tryouts. They've been on AEW recently. These guys are everywhere, and they are very, very good, representing Imperial Pro Wrestling, the Bad News Boys.
Yeah, definitely a team in the same vein as Violence is Forever, who they're, like you said, they're everywhere. They've put in a lot of reps over the past year, and just the fact that they do have prior experience, even though they didn't make it through to the actual brackets last time, it will not be their first time in an NWA ring. So you got to think that they have a higher level of preparation, at least mentally, coming into this, and some drive to actually make it in to that play-in seed.
Yeah, and a hungry team. We talk about sleeper teams or teams that could catch fire and go deep. This is one of them immediately.
I don't think I forgot their ROH run CWL 91. I see you in the chat. I said ROH at the beginning. They were the boys in ROH. Hung out with Dalton Castle. Anyway, all right. Stop fighting with me, everybody. All right.
I think you were on mute when you said it, Gary.
Oh, is that what happened?
He's very sensitive.
Oh, that's probably what it was. Absolute Intense Wrestling sending some representatives in. It's the Rip City Shooters. These guys, they've been all over the place. This is actually, if you aren't familiar with Absolute Intense Wrestling, their current World Heavyweight Champion, Matt Cardona. So
that's right. That's right.
Now, these guys, unlike the Cardonas, they don't seem to be fans of Matt Cardona. They have actually been feuding with Matt Cardona. Could this be an option for them to break into the NWA here? And they're on a mission to advance up the Crockett Cup and eventually, hopefully, take on the Cardonas or cement themselves in the National Wrestling Alliance so they can circumvent Matt Cardona at every turn, I guess would be the way to put that. Doc, these guys should be men after your own heart here.
Yeah, I like them, and I think that little bit of information though just shows that those are the circles they run in. So this is a legitimate tag team, and I'd like to see what they do. I've never seen. I mean, I've seen a little bit of stuff on YouTube and whatnot, but I've never seen them in person. So I'm excited to get to see them in live and in living color in Nashville at the Fairgrounds.
Yep, these guys are going to be a lot of fun to watch. I've been watching some video here recently, and these guys. They do some great stuff. Wes Barkley, I believe, and Josh Bishop. So good to see these two, the Rip City Shooters, in action. And
Rip is my favorite character from Yellowstone. So,
oh, that makes sense. Yeah, and I guess he one of them could. No, I don't know. All right. Anyway, finally in the play-in team coming from Premier Wrestling Experience. You want to talk about people that have some familiarity with the National Wrestling Alliance? Well, these two guys, I think the original tweet announcing them said, to some, no introduction is necessary. To others, no introduction will suffice.
It's like Bigfoot, man. It's like, to the believer, no evidence will suffice. No evidence is needed. To the skeptic, none will suffice. This is one of those teams, Gary, not to interrupt you, although I did shamelessly. This is one of those teams that had a lot of buzz, man, that like the Briscoes, like other teams that have been mentioned, like FTR and all that. This is a team whose reputation precedes them. They're one of the most sought after, one of the most intriguing tag teams in the world. I think instantly they create a lot of legitimacy, add a lot of legitimacy to this tournament. And this is a big time play-in right here, or not play-in, but addition.
Yeah, I mean these guys are the embodiment of what I was mentioning earlier about, guys wrestling every night of the week. I've been to several shows here in my hometown, and these guys were at every one of them, wrestling intense matches and really, really talented guys. And then, I'll go follow them on Twitter. I try to follow, talent that I come in contact with through different shows and stuff like that. And, the night after, they're at another show an hour and a half down the road. And then the night after that, they're at another one. And so, I mean, these guys are the definition of hard workers and hard hitting guys that really know what they're doing. They're experienced. They've got the accolades to prove it. And, it's one of those teams that, they're a play-in team, but they could have easily been in the main brackets, just straight up. So it's definitely a team to watch out for.
Well, let me throw this at you guys real quick, and everybody watching, just see this just as an option something that could happen here. There was we have these eras of the National Wrestling Alliance, and for those that aren't familiar, the Heat Seekers, former multi-time NWA World Tag Team Champions. They're from an era prior to Lightning One, holding those titles. Now, guess who beat them for the titles? Don't worry, I'll tell you. Nobody beat them for the tag team titles. When the Lightning One Corporation took over the National Wrestling Alliance, most of the champions, in fact, all of the champions, I guess, were stripped initially, except for the world's heavyweight champion. And then you got here the Heat Seekers, who they were no longer the NWA Tag Team Champions. Now, I'd like to take your attention back, if I may, to the bracket. If the Heat Seekers were to win the play-in, they will be going
basically a title match.
Head. It becomes a title match almost. Look at that. The former tag team champions versus the current era's tag team champions. La Rebellion versus the Heat Seekers. Now that could be a heck of a match.
Two teams who were champions and never lost them. It's interesting.
Like when Barry Windham wrestled Muda, I think, for the NWA World Championship, and Flair was there. He showed up and said, "Tonight, we're fighting for the championship that I never lost." And that happens every time that the NWA World Tag Team titles are defended. So very, very intriguing. Good little bit of history there, Gary. Well done.
Hey, Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Yeah, media said Elliot Sigmund. Oh yeah, sorry. Russell, Elliot Russell, and Matt Sigmund, the Heat Seekers, saying true journeymen in pro wrestling, come from my area, from Innovate Wrestling. That's good to know. Thank you, Medium. All right, and Devin says, okay, enough about the tag team talk. Who is Sion's father? Well, you know, it could be Rob. Also, Devin, you don't know that Sion's father's not in this tag team tournament, I guess. So if he's a former world's champion, could Sion's father be one of the Heat Seekers? I don't know.
Matt Sigmund.
Could it be Aaron Stevens or Kratos?
I mean, y'all mentioned my name. I mean, I look, I was a military guy. There was that little incident in Korea. So, you know, I don't.
But you were never. Hey. But you weren't an NWA champion. So.
Does he mean National Wrestling Alliance?
I don't know. He said a former world champion.
Acronym is the acronym a riddle.
Eric saying, Gary, are you saying that the Heat Seekers are the real NWA World Tag Team Champions? Well, I'm saying they have there is a case they could make.
We're just sharing the facts.
Yeah, I'm just throwing the information out there. Do with it what you will. I would never.
I just heard Gary insult Rebellion. I just heard you insult La Rebellion, man, and we got you.
I'm just saying, if the Heat Seekers were to advance into the first round of the Crockett Cup, there can be no doubt there that who the real NWA World's Tag Team Champions.
We just forgot about this background track playing.
Rob's down there looking like he's chaperoning the prom.
This is the only move I got, man. That's it.
Oh man,
and a couple of variations on it.
Let's play this song. It's called "Feeding the Ducks."
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like good.
Feeding the ducks.
When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I need a girl as sweet as a duck for the person I like.
Record scratch.
Here. Yeah, I think we've far enough down that path. Okay. Let's see. What else can we talk about? Well, you know, one thing we need to talk about is the 10 Pounds of Gold series that took place, or the newest episode, 10 Pounds of Gold returns. It came back tonight. That was a big deal. A lot of people joined up with this era of the National Wrestling Alliance by watching the 10 Pounds of Gold series. Will, one of those, he mentioned that earlier. And it was all about, if you didn't see it, that Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldis matchup. That's going to be a big part of Crockett Cup. Arguably right up there with the tag team tournament is the World's Heavyweight Championship match that's going to take place. This is the second of the Lightning One era that's had a world title. I mean, it wasn't always about the world title at a Crockett Cup event, but man, they don't get much bigger than this one coming into. You want to talk about a big event? The Crockett Cup is stacked. You tired of this music?
I just can't get over it, man. I'm like, we've been like,
his ADD, he's too distracted.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop it, but it means you have to actually talk.
I wasn't saying that. I'm just saying, man. It's like sir, I feel like I was at the club, man. I feel like I was at a spa.
Rob, you back on into the club. No, I killed the music. You got to carry the song. Let's go to the chat. What do you guys want to talk about? We can throw it to you guys for the last little bit here. Let's talk to the hashtag NWA fam. Eric Dale says, keep those hands up, Doc. Yeah. Devin wants to see Dan Severn come face Cardona. That would be
Cardona.
Why no rude dude? Sandoval.
Good point.
I bet they appreciate you asking that.
We don't have the answer, but it's a good question.
TC said Taryn had a good showing at Power Trip. There are a lot of people in the YouTube chat pulling for her on Friday. Yeah, Taryn, you know, she's been a little aloof on some of the shows and not really participating, doing her her social distance match with Kinsey Page and all of that stuff. But she actually went at Camille. Like, that was a pretty impressive match and a great showing from Taryn. Unfortunately, not quite enough to overcome the brick house. But wow, I was super impressed. And Taryn is a legitimate threat out there.
Yeah, I mean, we say this all the time. I don't know if there's anybody out there that can overcome the brick house right now in all of professional wrestling. But in terms of, you know, people going up against Camille for that title, she gave her a run for her money. I mean, it was definitely not the easiest match I've seen Camille wrestle. So she had her work cut out for her, but yeah, she retained. But yeah, the takeaway, Taryn was impressive. Hopefully we'll get to see more of her. That was what I took away from that. Hopefully we'll get to see more of her in the ring. And yeah.
I think for her, the key in that match was she, you know, and now she knows that she needs to be better hydrated. So maybe a bigger cup, but I too think that Taryn impressed a lot of people. That was a legit match from a legit competitor. Again, like you alluded to, Gary, we've seen some things here that don't always set well with some people in this audience, like people like referee James Lawrence and whatnot with the socially distanced stuff. But let's not forget that Taryn Terrell is a former world champion, and she can go with the best of them. And I think that she gave Camille probably more than Camille was thinking that she was going to have to, in her hands there that night in that match. So want to see more of her. And I think at any time, we could see Camille on a bad day falter, although I don't see that happening for a long, long time. But if Taryn Terrell happens to be in the ring that night, you might have a new holder of the Burke. And what did Taryn Terrell say she was going to rename the championship? The Terrell or something like
Terrell.
That?
It was the Terrell. Yeah. I'm surprised it's not the bye, but the bye. Shout out to Wrestling with the MMA. Going to be a grandfather. Congrats on that. Eric says Taryn has a voice that can remove paint from walls. You take that back. Take that back, Eric. Devin predicting Carino and the Fixers are going to take all the gold at the Crockett Cup. And that brings up an excellent point. First of all, tomorrow night on NWA Powerrr, I saw some people mentioning that. The big main event tomorrow night is Anthony Crimson Mayweather is challenging Chris Adonis for the national title tomorrow night. That's going to be a huge match. But another match that's going to happen is the Fixers and OGK going head-to-head. So that's going to be interesting. Also, you got Pope versus Mike Knox. That's another big one, too. So very, very exciting time. And since you mentioned Colby Carino and taking gold there, I guess it's worth mentioning, too. Don't forget, at Crockett Cup, you've got a big, big match here with the Junior Heavyweight Championship will be determined at the Crockett Cup on night 2 there. That's March the 20th. Austin Aries, Colby Carino, Darius Lockhart, and Homicide. So look at that. You got this big 4-way match between these guys for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. An amazing tag team tournament. And Matt Cardona defends against Nick Aldis, the World's Heavyweight Championship on the line. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's still stuff coming, that we don't even know about yet. Guys, this is shaping up to be one heck of an event.
Yeah. I wanted to point out that in that junior heavyweight bracket there that we've got up, can someone tell me what Colby Carino and Austin Aries have in common other than being in this particular match?
Well, that took my answer, so I don't know.
They both
have beards.
Big wins over Rhett Titus. Colby Carino and best 2 out of 3 falls, and Austin Aries to win that qualifier match. So interesting to see what happens when these two in the ring together.
Also, their names are alliteration.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, just like Homicide.
we're such nerds.
Let's see here. Bill saying Austin Aries has like 5 or 6 belts right now. Interesting. Jamie Millar is going to be a dad for the first time in the next couple of weeks. So congrats to you.
Man. Hashtag
NWA fam out there making
NWA
babies.
fam is growing, man. NWA fam is growing.
That's it.
Right.
Bobby picking Anthony Mayweather to win tomorrow night. That should be interesting. And Christos throwing in for AA in this big tournament here. And Eric's right, dangerous men in these finals. And David's laughing, probably at something Doc
and
said.
crying.
Or, yeah. Alliteration. So,
Question mark?
Yeah.
That'd be a great tag team name, Alliteration. And all the members of this could be a whole faction.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure that's true, but yeah, maybe. Anyway, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out that 10 pounds of gold special that is on YouTube that aired right before we jumped on here and wasted your night. Make sure you go and
they opened for us. They were our opener.
Matt Cardona and Nick Aldis.
Thank you, guys.
For our warm-up act before we got on here. Oh, God. God help them and help us. God bless the National Wrestling Alliance.
Tis true.
Ooh, I like Chris Drummond's idea.
Alliteration right there.
How about this? NWA title versus mask. Tyrus versus Scion. What about that? That'd be fun. Where's Trevor Murdoch? We haven't heard from Trevor Murdoch. What's that guy up to? He's obviously he's not in the Crockett Cup.
I mean, he's coming on. It's not uncommon. You have suffer a big loss, and I'm sure he's reflecting on on his career and where he goes from here and what the future has in store from him. I know we've not seen the last of Trevor Murdoch, but he's got a lot of weight on him right now, even though he's not carrying the crown anymore. He's got a lot of weight on him, and I'm sure people have reached out. I know we have reached out to him and have not really heard anything from him. But you'll hear more from Trevor. He'll be around.
All right. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this thing up? Let these people get on their way.
Nope.
All right. Well, it's been a good talk, everybody. No, thank you guys for being here. Thanks to all of the hashtag NWA fam that are in the chat. Thank you guys, Jamie, Devin, Bobby, Eric, Media, Chris, Connor, Scott, David, Wrestling with the MMA. Thanks, Devin. Well, thanks for being here. Good luck with the next few hours of wrestling. And thanks for tuning in with us. It's guys like you, folks like you, tuning in that help us get a show like this going. We like to just talk NWA. We love that there are other people out there that like to talk about it just like we do. And then it also brings attention to us enough that we get folks like the Briscoes that come and join us and want to get their point across. And so big shout out to the Briscoes for being here. We thank them for showing up. And Lord knows no love lost between them and the NWA. So it was nice of them to at least show up and have a talk with us.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for being here.
We're over an hour. Rob and I are just contractors, so our time, we only work for 1 hour.
I got you. All right. Well, thanks again, you guys. Everybody have a good rest of your night with whatever you decide to get into from here. We will see you tomorrow night, hopefully, for NWA Powerrr on FITE TV at 6:05. If not, make sure you tune in on Friday at 6:05. NWA USA on Saturday. Lots of good stuff tomorrow night. It's night number 2 of NWA Powerrr Trip. That's going to be awesome. And promise you, it's a good one. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you tune into that if you haven't already gotten NWA All Access. No better time than now. You get all pay-per-views for a whole year right there with NWA All Access.
Crockett Cup.
That's exactly right. So, all right, enough advertisement from us. Enjoy whatever you're watching from here, or just you guys enjoy your